Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Holy Smokes Barbecue channel. Today's going to be a little bit of an interesting one, okay? And that is because I'm making a smoked meatloaf. But, little known fact about me, I don't really like meatloaf. In fact, I could confidently say that as of this very moment, I do not like meatloaf. But I do know that smoked meatloaf is incredibly popular, and I know that if I want to make something better, all I got to do is season the heck out of it and wrap it in bacon. So we're going to do both of those things with the smoked meatloaf today, and stick around to the end to see if I become a meatloaf lover. Nah, that was weird. So here we go. Let's get started. Alright, so I'm not starting with the meatloaf yet. I'm going to start with the bacon, because I'm going to do this interesting kind of lattice design with the bacon, which is totally like optional. You don't have to do that at all. You could literally just lay strips of bacon on top of your meatloaf, but you know, why not? So I have here just ordinary strips of bacon. I'm using this pink butcher paper just to, you know, avoid a big mess. And I'm going to lay out some of this bacon right next to each other, laying all the slices in the same direction. Now in this particular case, you're not really going to want to use a super thin bacon, just because it's going to be a little bit harder to manipulate. Alright, now let's start going the other direction. So here's the way that I'm going to do this. I'm going to start by just placing this on top. Then I'm going to come to this next piece. I'm going to pull it back and put it back on. Skip one, go back, put it back on. So now let's go with our next one. And for this, I'm going to start with this end and fold this all the way back. Lay out my strip and then back on. Again, I'm trying to keep everything nice and tidy together, but we'll see if that actually happens. Alright, there's two slices. Let's go ahead and finish this up. Alright, there we go. Look how nice and fancy that looks. At this point, I'm going to take this inside and put it in the refrigerator just to let it chill for a little while, because we got a meatloaf to make, and then I'll bring this out when the meatloaf is ready to go on the smoker. We'll wrap it up. All right, let's get started with our meatloaf. For the actual meat, I'm using this blend of beef, pork, and veal. It's equal parts, and this is about 2 pounds. And this delicious combo came from Strip District Meats, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the best butcher shop you'll find anywhere. Go to their website, stripdistrictmeats.com. You can order online, they ship nationwide. Now, if you don't have access to sort of a pre-blended blend, then just make it yourself. You could use just beef and pork, or you could use a kind of tri-blend like I have here. Now come the rest of my ingredients. I'm gonna do 2 eggs, no shell, no shell. Shell. Beautiful. Next, I'm going to add 1 cup of just regular breadcrumbs. Now comes about a half of a teaspoon of onion powder, about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, about a tablespoon of dried oregano, a little bit of crushed red pepper, gotta have that, right? And some of the best seasoning you can get, really, really simple, Pit Boss all-purpose GSP. That's garlic, salt, and pepper. There we go. Get my glove back on here. And now I'm going to come in here and mix this together all by hand. Now here's the thing to remember. We don't want to overdo this. If you've ever, hand patted your own burgers or anything like that, you know that the more you kind of knead this together and mix it, after a certain period of time, it's going to start to get a little bit tough. So we don't want to do that. We want to go just until everything is mixed. You'll notice that the breadcrumbs and that egg combo are really helping this to stick together, which is obviously what we need, because we are making a loaf of meat. That's probably why I don't really like it, because I feel like a loaf is like bread. Shouldn't need like a loaf of meat. And now it seems like everything is nice and mixed together. So now I'm going to take a piece of parchment, grab this hunk of meat, and start to form it into this loaf concoction. Alright, that looks about as loafy as I can make it. And I think that that's going to be a good size for our bacon. So with that, let me go get the bacon. All right, so now I'm gonna take this meatloaf and I'm gonna put it right here at the, well, my bottom, your top of this bacon lattice. Okay, so I have it here on the parchment. Turn it over like so, and just place it on the bacon. Now, using this pink butcher paper, I'm gonna fold it over, which is gonna sort of roll it into the other part of the bacon, like so. Okay, now, since it is a little bit sticky, just kind of pull this off carefully. There we go. Let's flip this around. All right, so I can see there that I've got some exposed meat, which is fine. A couple ways that we can do this. I do have one piece of bacon left that I was saving for such an occasion as this. And so with my last piece of bacon, I'm just gonna put it there. You know, like it doesn't have to be all in with the normal lattice of things. Now on this side, we'll just fold this bacon up like that. Fold it around on the side there. Just kind of tidying it up here. All right, now at this point, you could use butcher's twine to kind of tie this all together. I'm not actually gonna do that. I'm gonna leave it just like it is. Now very carefully, off the pink paper and into the foil pan. Perfect size. All right, there we go. Let's go smoke this thing. All right, so I have this meatloaf now here in the foil pan on my Pit Boss Platinum Series Lockhart, and I'm smoking this today at a temperature initially of 250 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna do that until it comes up to an internal temp of about 140, and then I'm gonna come back out and baste it in my own homemade Holy Smokes barbecue sauce. And then we're gonna crank the temperature on the Lockhart to 375 degrees to really bake that on there and let it finish up. I'm smoking today using the Pit Boss Hickory Blend pellets, which I love on pork, on beef, anything that you really want to get that good smoky meaty flavor out of. The Hickory Blend is amazing. And I'm going to be monitoring the internal temperature using the temperature probe that came with the Lockhart. The Lockhart comes with two. I only need one for this particular application. It does support up to 4. And as far as how long this is going to take, I really have no idea, but I would estimate maybe like an hour or so. But I'm just going to rely on the internal temp to tell me when it's time to come back out, baste it, and crank that heat. So I'll see you when it's time to do that. All right, the internal temperature on my meatloaf is 141 degrees. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Wow, look at that. That's pretty. Now I'm going for a final internal temp here of 155, then I'm going to remove it. It's going to carry over cook about another 5 degrees to a perfect 160 internal. But as we mentioned, I'm coming in with some Holy Smokes barbecue sauce. This stuff, oh my gosh, I could just eat it on everything. All right, let's get that on there. Look at that. Nice little slather, and then we'll brush that on. Get the sides, ladies and gentlemen. All right, with that meatloaf nice and covered, it's time to increase the temperature to 375 degrees and let this bad boy rise up to 160 internal. And then we'll take it off and we'll see what happens. All right, and here is our finished meatloaf. Look at that. Man, it looks delicious. It smells incredible. Beautiful color on there. All right, let's cut into this thing and see how we did. I want to go right in the middle here and just see. So here we go. I'm wearing gloves just for like the, you know, the mess of it all. It's still very hot. Whew. Right down the middle. All right, moment of truth. Hey, that actually looks pretty good. Looks like what I think a meatloaf should look like. All right, here goes nothing. It's time to try this meatloaf. Gotta be honest, my mouth is watering a little bit. Maybe it's just because I'm that hungry. All right, well, here we go. Smoked meatloaf with a bacon lattice wrap. Here we go, bon appetit. Hey, woohoo. Wow. That's nothing like I remember meatloaf tasting like as like a kid. Wow, that's really good. Get some more. The barbecue sauce, the bacon, the meat is actually delicious. You can taste kind of like little hints of those different seasonings and herbs that we put into that mixture. The next time I do this, I'm probably going to throw in some more chili flakes because I want it to be a little bit hotter, but obviously that's not for everybody. So here's the final verdict. I don't want to say that I love meatloaf, but what I will tell you is, holy smokes, this smoked bacon wrapped meatloaf is delicious. So delicious, in fact, that I'm going to go ahead and take it indoors where I can enjoy more of it. But thank you so much for tuning in once again to the Holy Smokes Barbecue channel. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do that right now. Subscribe and click the little thumbs up button to give us a like. It really does help other people find the channel. And if you like this video, you're going to want to definitely check out one of these other 2 videos of some stuff that we've cooked up here recently on the channel, all outdoors on the smoker, and I'll see you next time.